Hi there ladies, Aggie here. So this video is going to be about decluttering and it's going to be about eliminating items. So I want to get right into it with you. I want to go ahead and I have a list here, so just bear with me for 1 second. So I want to get right into it and talk about the different criteria for elimination that you can use when it comes to decluttering your home and when it comes to making your space feel lighter and kind of getting out the things that make you feel claustrophobic, getting the stuff out of your closet that when you open it makes you feel heavy. I really want to kind of get into practical examples this time, less of the spiritual methods, which I think is super important, but today I really just want to talk about quick practical examples that can allow you to make very quick logical decisions. Okay, 1 second, I'm going to pull up my list. Okay, so number 1 on the list is going to be toxic items. I am by no means perfect when it comes to toxic items. However, I try to eliminate toxic items from my home as much as possible. This is true for food, cleaning products, toiletries, even items that are plastic, like certain Tupperware, what I store my food in. So I'm pretty much on top of it, I would say, but I'm not perfect. So I'm not gonna say that I don't ever eat junk food, that I don't ever drink alcohol. However, I do my best to keep 95% non-toxic when it comes to my house. I would say that about 95% of the items that I buy online or when I go out in the store would be non-toxic. So one of my number 1 elimination criteria in my home is about health. I want you to be able to go through your home when you're eliminating clutter. And I want you to be able to look at practical ways to make decisions that are logical in some way or shape or form. So one thing that you can do when it comes to toxic items is you can download an app like Yuka, or I believe the Environmental Working Group has an app. There's also other apps that allow you to scan barcodes of items in your home, whether it's food, toiletries, or even cleaning products, and it's going to tell you if the item is toxic from a 0 to 100. I recently had one item come into my home that someone gave me that I had no idea if it was toxic or not, but I was going through my items and I actually ended up scanning that item, and from a 0 to 100, 100 being healthy and great, 0 being extremely toxic, this item was a 0. So I immediately tossed it into the trash. So definitely one criteria that I would 100% recommend that you use when it comes to eliminating items is the toxicity factor. And when it comes to stuff that you cannot scan with this app, you can look at, for example, your pots and pans. Are they toxic? Are they non-toxic? You can look up online. I, for example, use stainless steel only when I can. I also use glass containers instead of plastic when I can. So these are all important factors when it comes to what gets to stay in your home, depending on the type of lifestyle that you want to live. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. This is a very good elimination criteria, whether it's healthy or not healthy. The next on the list is if it's expired. Definitely a very good elimination criteria. Try to make sure that whatever items you keep is not expired. Broken, damaged, stained, unsafe, all these criteria, missing parts. If it's expired, broken, damaged, stained, unsafe, missing parts, immediately toss it. Don't even think about it. Just let it go. Let it go. It doesn't have to stay in your home. It doesn't serve any purpose. Doesn't matter how much you paid for it. Allow it to just leave your house and put it in the garbage. Missing parts, I've already mentioned, does not fit your current vision. If it doesn't fit your current vision, and this is a little bit of a, I guess it's somewhat of a spiritual aspect, because in this challenge, we do challenges for intuitive home creation, for intuitive decluttering. When you make a vision, and I do meditations in this program to make sure that everybody kind of connects with their intuition and their soul to create that vision of what type of home you want. How do you want your space to look? What is your vision? If an item does not fit that vision, let it go. Let go of it. Don't allow it to stay in your space. Your vision is moving forward. Some of these items are keep taking you back. If it's not part of your vision, let it go. Envision the space. See what you see and what you don't see. And let go what's not in that vision. This is very important. Because at the end of the day, that vision is what's taking you to that self that you aspire to be. And everything else that's not part of that vision that you keep is going to hold you back. So if it's not part of your vision, allow yourself to let it go. Same thing if it doesn't fit your current lifestyle. Same thing, allow yourself to let it go. If it does not fit your body, and I want to say a couple of things about that, because a lot of times people say, oh, if it doesn't fit, then throw it away. I don't 100% agree with that, because sometimes we have goals. For example, I'm in the process of I have a goal to lose 10-15 pounds over the next 3 months. I know for a fact that there are certain clothes in my closet that currently I'm not wearing because I don't feel 100% comfortable in them. However, I know in 3 to 5 months, those are going to be the only clothes I'm going to be wearing. So, one example being my crop tops. Right now, having 10 or 15 extra pounds, crop tops, I wouldn't feel 100% great in. I know that I could look much better in them if I lose 10 pounds. So for me, these crop tops are actually very significant because I know this is my goal to put on a crop top and feel great. And I'm not going to get rid of them just because right now in this particular moment, they don't fit me the way that I want them to fit. I know that in 3 to 5 months, I'm going to be using them. So unless it's something that, it's too big because you lost weight, if it's too big, yes, let it go. If it's, coming apart, or if it's not fitting your style anymore, let it go. However, if it doesn't fit and you plan to lose 5 to 10 pounds and you're going to fit back into it, by all means, you can go ahead and keep that item. So just keep in mind, these are practical examples of how you can make quick, logical decisions so you don't have to think about it too much. Okay? Next up on the list, if it makes you feel negative emotion. Now, I want to say a couple of things about that. Yes, you can absolutely let go of something that makes you feel negative emotion. However, what I want you to do when something brings up negative emotion, this is also an opportunity for you to process something that's weighing heavily on you. And even though you may not remember it at all times of the day, whenever we close ourselves up energetically and emotionally to through something, that generally tends to close us up to a lot of other good feelings as well, even if it's not conscious. So I want you to take the opportunity when you come in contact with an item or you see an item that brings up a difficult memory, I want you to go ahead and allow yourself to feel the feelings that the item is bringing up. I want you to have the courage to face whatever emotion, and usually that feels like a dark emotion, a difficult emotion, a guilt-ridden emotion. There's a lot of different emotions that can come up that are very uncomfortable, okay? So when an item like this comes up, I really want you to take the opportunity before you let go of the item to process the feeling that it's bringing to you. Because when you allow that feeling to fully manifest within yourself, and when I say manifest, I mean allow it to expand within you. Allow the feeling to come. Notice where the feeling is coming into your body. Notice where that feeling is expanding into. And don't be afraid of it. Allow it to fully come onto you. And at the end, when you allow a feeling like this to expand, when you allow a feeling that is negative and open up to it fully, what ends up happening is an actual liberation at the end, because you're no longer resisting it. You're no longer afraid of it. You're no longer trying to get away from it. And the feeling can only rise that high, and all of a sudden it will end up losing its power if there is zero resistance to it. It's just gonna almost like it dissolves into thin air. You feel the discomfort, you feel the discomfort, but you let it expand into your body. It may feel like, oh my god, this feeling is gonna kill me. It's not going to kill you. It's going to, at some point, lose its power and dissolve. Kind of like, I always compare this to a burning hot pepper. The same way that pepper burns, and oh my god, this is so bad, it's never gonna go away. You get the milk, you get the ice, you get everything. But the truth is, if you just surrender to the feeling and you go through it, you become present to it and you feel it burn through. And all of a sudden it begins losing its power. It's the same thing with some of these emotions that come up through these triggers. And the truth is that the more you open up to everything, the more open you become to all the good feelings, all the spiritual energy, because you're no longer resisting, you're no longer scared of life, you know, you're allowing everything through you. And essentially that's how connections higher up can also, you can also become open to those, because, you know, when you open to everything, you're opening up to all the good stuff to flow through you too. And I firmly believe that when something closes you up, like a really hard experience or really difficult emotion, all of a sudden you potentially lose connection to God. You potentially lose connection to your soul. You potentially lose connection to those elating good vibrations as well. So I encourage you, when you bump into an item that brings up something that you wanna put under the rug, you want it to disappear, I'm gonna get rid of this because it reminds me of something bad. Before you get rid of it, try to process the emotion and give an opportunity for a relief, for liberation from all those feelings that this particular experience is bringing up, okay? So next on the list, if you have excess of something, if you have duplicates, you have 3 different humidifiers, you probably don't need 3 unless you have 1 for each room where it's necessary. Excess items, obviously these are things you can give away, so don't keep them. You can always buy a new one if you really need it. Again, some of these items are simply not worth the money for the stress that they create to take up space in a home, okay? Depending on how big your home is, you know, potentially it makes sense to keep an extra humidifier. But for me, for example, I live in New York City in a small apartment. There's absolutely no way that I can keep something like that, okay? So really evaluate, is this an issue for me? If it's an issue, then you can buy it down the line again if you really, really need one. An obligation gift. So if you get a gift from somebody and that gift is something you're not using, but you feel bad for letting it go. It happened to me too, particularly, you know, stuff I get from my family. Sometimes I feel super guilty if I'm not wearing it, or if it already fell apart, but I still don't want to let it go because, you know, my mom got it for me and, you know, I feel like she's going to ask me about where it is. I have a hard time letting go of those things. However, I encourage you to really look at, okay, is this really helping anybody to keep an item like this? It's not a definition of your relationship in any shape or form. So allow yourself to let go of any gifts that feel like it's an obligation for you to keep them. If it's something that it's costing you a lot to maintain and you're not actually enjoying the item, absolutely 100% let go of it. If it's actually making you have to spend more money and it's not adding to your life in the same amount, allow yourself to let go of it. If it requires repair and you haven't tried to repair it in 6 months, again, let go of it. You probably don't need it. If you haven't used it for a year and it's not a seasonal item, it's not really something that you envision fitting into within the next, short foreseeable future, but, is part of your plan, again, let go of it. If it takes up a lot of space and you're not really using it, again, allow yourself to let go of it. If you wouldn't buy it again today, again, allow yourself to let go. If you're not going to want to buy something now and use it, it probably has no space in your life. So allow yourself to let it go. If it feels heavy and you just feel like this item is not part of the energy, the vibe that I'm trying to keep here, allow yourself to let it go. Doesn't match the direction that you're moving in. We talked about this before. If it's pulling you back into the past, but it's not part of the vision that you're moving forward to, allow yourself to let go. If it doesn't fit comfortably and your storage is overflowing and there's just no way to put it, so you end up putting it in, your entryway or your living room because it just doesn't fit anywhere, allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to let go so your space can feel comfortable. Again, if you need something, you can always buy it down the line. An incomplete set, like some things in the kitchen, if you're not using it because it's incomplete, allow yourself to let it go. Free stuff that you got that you never really intended to get, allow yourself to let it go. A hobby item that you got but you haven't used it in 3 years and you thought you will but you never did, allow yourself to give it away to someone. If it comes up and you want to use it tomorrow, you can always buy it again. An outdated version of an item that you bought a new one of already. Like, let's say you have the old TV in your closet and you're not using it, you don't have plans to use it, but you didn't want to throw it away because it has, some value in your mind. Allow yourself to give it away. Or if, you have certain items that you think truly have value, my rule is put it up on Facebook Marketplace, give it a price, and if it's not gone in a week or two, either donate it immediately. And again, if it's not donated in a week or two, again, throw it in the garbage. And if it's not sold in a week or two, throw it in the garbage. So if you have a TV that you feel has value, you put it up on Facebook Marketplace, or you call an antique store or a secondhand store, depending on where you live, what your options are. See if they want it, see if they would pay money for it, see if you can donate it. But if it's not gone in a week or two, again, cut your losses, let it go. It's not worth the money to have your place as a storage facility and weigh down your everyday life. That's not the lifestyle that you want to live. You want to intuitively declutter. If it doesn't feel good, you find a way to let it go, okay? If you forgot you owned it, if you don't even know you have it and you haven't thought of buying it in a long time, allow yourself to let it go. If you have to hide it every time that someone comes to your place, figure out a way to let it go. If you avoid looking at it, if you don't even like seeing it, why keep it? If you feel a sense of relief when you think about having it gone, if you feel a sense of relief when you think about just finally having it out of your house, doesn't matter how, whether you get money for it or not, if you feel like it's no longer here and you're gonna be like, oh, finally it's gone, let it go. Allow yourself the courage to let it go and know that if you really need something, truly need it, you can always get a different one. You can maybe get it used, maybe you can order it on Amazon. Again, yes, maybe there's a bit of a loss, but if you keep it for 1 year and it's literally renting space, how much trade-off is there for your peace of mind to have clutter in your home? Maybe you have to spend an extra $50, by buying something, but you will have a peace of mind for potentially years before you end up using this item. So really think about the trade-off. It doesn't matter if you lose a little bit of money. You get a lot more. You truly get so much more back by having a space that's supporting you and that feels good in your soul and in your heart. Okay? So these are my quick tips. And actually I wanted to add one more. And this is something that I feel, could really help with some items like clothing. For example, if you take clothing out of your closet and you realize that you just don't like it, or something about it feels weird, or it has lint balls on it or whatever, like it just doesn't feel nice, have a basket in your closet, throw it in there so you immediately eliminate. You're not putting this item on and putting it back on the shelf that I don't like it. No, put it in the basket and just know that, this item is no longer me. it doesn't feel good, it looks old, it doesn't fit right, maybe it's stretched out, whatever it is, do not ever put an item like this back in your closet. Go ahead and put it in that bin and forget about it. That bin automatically goes into the garbage. Okay? Whenever you empty it, like maybe once a week, automatically goes to the garbage. Okay? So these are my quick tips. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and please let me know in the comments of an item or a category that you're thinking about letting go of now. Okay? And please join the challenge. We have a challenge going constantly. We are helping everybody intuitively create their homes, intuitively organize, and intuitively declutter by connecting to our soul and getting visions from what truly serves us. Please join the challenge. We have a Facebook group. I'm going to include that into the description of this video, and I hope I see you either in the comments or in our challenge. Take care.